Blessed be witches, and welcome to another episode of Witch Please. It is I, Odin the Seer, and today we are going to be doing something a little different. You think that all you got from your ancestors was that fantastic bone structure? That flawless skin? That lovely hair? That booty that turns heads in the club? In the years of the work that I've been doing, I have had a lot of people come to me who, for some reason, seem to be getting themselves in ruts, and they don't know how and why this is happening the way that it is. The situation that they're going through right now, they grew up in that. They grew up in difficult times. Their parents either had anxiety, and that's what they seem to be going through. They grew up in poverty, but they can't seem to always have money in their pockets. And there's all these different variables that seem to always be there. Now, they've tried the power of positive thinking. They have went out of their way. They're hard workers and whatnot, but they can't seem to ever get ahead. The amount of time and energy it takes to put into an actual curse. Now, I'm not saying that curses don't exist, honey, because they do. But a lot of the times, it is just your DNA. This is a vibration that has been attached to your family. And just like you can pass on these genes, one is really good with arts and another one's good with athletics and whatnot, you can also pass on this negative energy that attaches to your DNA, and it will keep you in this state. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be doing my peace rice, and we're going to be putting it into a mojo bag, and you put this in your bedroom and you leave it there, because when you're sleeping, your body is healing itself, right? So what you want to do is you want to get this vibration within your room that is going to start removing this DNA that is attached to this negative vibration that is hereditary. First, you're going to need a gree bag or a mojo bag. I chose this one because it has all the elements in it and it is yellow, okay? You are going to need 2 bowls of rice. Okay, now you don't want to fill up the jar that you're going to be putting the rice in. You want to leave a little bit because you will be shaking this, okay? You will need basil oil, marjoram oil, rosemary oil, hyssop oil, and herb. You will be needing thyme oil, cinnamon oil, bay oil, yellow food coloring, and blue food coloring. And don't forget, you're going to need some road opener oil and the first moon pentacle of Solomon, of which I have written my intent on the back. It's for unlocking any doors that are maybe locked in any fashion. So all you do is you just write your intent on the back of it to remove these blocks, to unlock your DNA so that these negative energies can be removed and you can move forward in your life free of this karmic debt. Now, I use the word karmic debt because in a lot of traditions, people will burn joss notes and they will give offerings to their ancestors. Now, don't get me wrong, I am all for burning joss notes. I do that regularly. And I do offerings regularly as well. But I also use this just as an assist to keep in my room when I'm sleeping to help alleviate. So if you don't have all of these oils, honey, just use the herbs. It's perfectly fine. If you don't have the herbs, just use the oils. It's perfectly fine. Mix and match, boo-boo. Remember, this is hoodoo. It's about what you got. That's what it's about. It's about what you got. If you cannot find one of these oils or these herbs or whatnot, and you feel the need to put something else in there, and it be so, boo-boo. This is yours, okay? Intuition is more powerful than anything you will find in a book, okay? Or anything that you will even learn here. I'll say it, boo. I can guide you, but your intuition will bring you home, baby, okay? You can use any rice first and foremost, but I like to use rice with this because rice has a foundational aspect to it. Right? It's very protective in its own right. It's very powerful. It's very nurturing. When you are getting married, they throw rice on you to get pregnant. You're rebirthing yourself like a phoenix from the ash, and you are starting to move on with your life. Rice also absorbs a lot of negative energy. You'll feel when it's time to change this rice because it's been absorbing all that negativity, boo-boo, and it's full and you need to dispose of that. Now, to dispose of it in water, boo. Water will dissipate it, right? And send that energy somewhere else and turn it into energy that can be reused for other purposes. Now, let's go into the oils. Basil oil. It brings in a sense of healing. It brings in a sense of peace. All of those negative vibrations, okay? We want to heal them, and we want to bring in a peace to bring the vibration up so you no longer can be stuck within that energetic sphere. Nardrum is another good one when it comes for peace, when it comes for healing, when it comes to overcoming. It's science. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only transform, okay? So it can be passed on. We want to break this cycle so that we don't pass that on to our children, our children's children, and our children's children's children. Rosemary, another great one when it comes for healing the home. Okay, healing the foundations, healing what has been a family trait that has been given and passed on. Hyssop removes karma, boo, and that's the reason why we have hyssop oil and hyssop herb. I'll probably get some people who are upset about this, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because that's what we do here on Witch Please. We give it to you straight, no chaser. If you see something as wrong, you're going to get negative karma for it. If you see something as right, you're going to get positive karma for it. If you live in parts of the world, what you consider to be right, in other parts of the world will not be considered right. Okay? Hell, you could even go to jail for it. So, we need to understand that karma is subject to perspective. You may be conditioned to believe that this is right and this is wrong. But the reality is, what is innate? That is love. Okay? Love is innate. And even though you tell yourself what you're doing is right, you're going to know if it's not right. You're going to know because you're going to have that feeling in your gut. If you go and attack somebody because there's something different about them that you don't like and you feel it's a threat to whatever you hold dear, you know in the pit of your stomach you're going to feel something's not right. There is karmic truth, right? And then there is conditioned truth. Thyme oil is great for foundations as well. Again, it's great for bringing in peace home. It's great for bringing in love. It's great for bringing in communication. It's great for dissipating vibrations that are not conducive to where you want to be. Cinnamon, my little pistol starter, that's what that is. I love me some of my cinnamon. Cinnamon don't play. Cinnamon will tack it. It'll be like, okay, you no longer are needed here. We do not want you up in this witch. So we're going to have to ask you very politely. We're going to have to invite you to leave. And if you don't, somebody's going to get hurt real bad. Okay? That's why we have cinnamon in there to put a little fire up in there. Smack it out. Get out. And take your friend with you. Bay leaf's always good for bringing in that peace, triumph, right? We can do this. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, witches. We've got this, all right? We've got manpower and magic. Now all we have to do is put it together. So we're going to move one of these aside and we are going to start with the yellow one first. In the beginning, there was air and moisture. Air and water. Creation of all life, boo-boos. All life. So we're bringing it back to the roots, the foundations, okay? We are cleansing the slate clean and we're moving forward. We need to make this strong, boo-boos, okay? So we're going to be putting 13 drops of some basil oil in here. So for each oil, remember, we want to put it in, stir it, and then pray over it with the intent to remove the negative energy from your DNA, any karmic retribution that is not yours, that comes from your family, your bloodline, that you want to remove it. Take it away so that it no longer holds you in a state of inability to move or progress. So your room is going to kind of smell like a kitchen, right? But kitchen's the heart of the home, boo. It's the heart of the home. And it does, it heals you. That's where alchemists were in the kitchen, boo-boo. That's where they did their magic most of the time, okay? So we're going to bring that into the reality while we're doing this. Marjoram, we are going to be putting 7 drops of marjoram in. Rosemary, we are going to be putting 7 drops of that in, and we're going to be going through the same process again. Now we're going to add in our food coloring. So I'm just going to put a few drops in here of the yellow. Now this does not need to be strong, y'all. I just put the yellow in there to get that feeling. And as I said, this is going to be a very, very damp mixture. It is going to ruin your sachet or your gree-gree bag. Don't be concerned with that, darling. If it's something that you don't want to be ruined, then don't use something like that. But use something that you know it's okay if it leaks through, because the more saturated the bag gets, the more fragrant it's going to be. We want it to absorb this negative energy, and we want it to dissipate it. So you want to be removing and changing this regularly. Years and years back, I was changing them once a week. And then as I started to evolve and grow, I noticed that they would last longer, and you'll see how they go. And this is really something that is not just a boom, you do it once and everything is over. It doesn't work like that, boo-boo. This is something that you really want to work towards removing that from you, okay? Now let's move on to the next one. Now we are going to add in 7 drops of thyme here. We're going to again stir over it and then pray. So now we're going to bring in 7 drops of our cinnamon oil and pray again. So now we are going to add in our 7 drops of bay leaves. So now we are going to add in a few drops of the blue food coloring. If it starts to go rancid or whatnot, that is a sign that there is a lot of negativity attached to your bloodline. Now, I said curses are few and far between, but they do happen, y'all. So that might be the problem. This has never gone rancid on me. And if I'm talking to some of my family members who are still stuck within that negative vibration, I will find that it will actually, the energies will start to dissipate in it a lot quicker than it would. So this is another sign for you to be able to tell what's going on with it. But if it goes rancid or starts rotting or funking, then you know that you need to do a lot more work on cleansing this negative energy from your DNA. How do you do that? Joss notes, cleansing, praying to your ancestors that are no longer here for assistance to break those ties and binds that keep you in that state of unable to move forward and freely from these things, and be conscious in your actions so that you know that you are breaking those cycles. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our first seal, Solomon's seal of the moon, and we are going to use our road opener oil here. If you don't have the road opener oil, you can always check my tutorial on road opener oil and you'll get the recipe for that. So I'm just going to dip my little finger in here, or as Graveyard Girl says, my phalange. I'm going to dip it in there, and I am going to anoint all 4 points of this, and then I'm going to put my finger right in the middle here. And you're going to go in a clockwise motion. And I'm going to slip this right into my gree-gree bag, or my mojo bag, or my sachet, whatever you want to call. So that's all ready to go. I'm going to take these rices and add them to my master bottle here. You might be thinking, why doesn't he just put this right into the gree-gree bag or the mojo bag? I'm going to show you why in 1 second, boo-boos. Stay calm. So now we're going to take our hyssop, okay? And we are going to put a little bit of that in our palm of our hands, because hyssop removes all karma, okay? And we are going to pray over this. Okay, so now we're going to put that right in there, okay? Right in the middle. And now we are going to add our next one. We are going to put the top on this, and my assistant Loki is going to set the alarm for 3 minutes, and we are going to shake this vigorously, focusing on removing any energy or negative vibrations that are holding you in a state where you cannot progress forward and you believe that it is from your family's karma or negativity. Ready? And let's go. Come on, babe. All the colors should meld together, and you want to be able to see that there is a great combination of the herbs. It's not going to be what you're expecting, but you're going to feel and smell the power within it. Trying to get all out that we can. You're going to close that bad boy up, and you're going to hang that in your room. It's very cost effective, and it's so very powerful, and I've used this for years, and I've used it with a lot of my students just to lay the groundwork of being able to dissipate that negative energy that is connected to the family. Alright, so that is our episode for today. If you have not subscribed, boo-boos, you need to press subscribe and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can always send me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial, or you can leave a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed the video, y'all. I hope you understand how this works, and I hope that it allows you to be able to start dissipating some of that energy that is not yours and not necessary in your life. I said it before, boo-boos, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic, and you are always in my heart. I will see you again on another episode of Witch. Please. Bye-bye. So the first moon pentacle of Solomon is to remove any blocks that are in with you.